guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. Oh, these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice.
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Paul with Spheric Reptiles, and I thank you so much for tuning in to this video today. If you're watching this video, I think that you already are keeping reptiles. You already have some knowledge of reptiles, and you're thinking about breeding. So, and that's where I was about 2 years ago, as I was thinking about breeding, and I, had re-entered the reptile market, got another reptile after about maybe 10 or 15 year hiatus from reptiles. Life happens. So, but you're watching this video now and you're just considering, so which direction should I go in? And there's a lot of videos out there. I'll give you my take on it because I approached it from the wow factor, and that's what motivates me, is the wow factor. So what can I create that would make me say, wow? I mean, that's what this is all about, right? So if you're doing ball pythons, now if you're doing animals like monitor species or a certain frog or a lizard, and we're just trying to preserve them because their habitats are being destroyed, then that's a totally different thing. You want to make the exact copy you can. But in the case of ball pythons, there's so many of them on the market that you really get to just get the chance to create a whole new color palette. And I mean, your imagination is the only thing that would limit you. So these are the 3 things that I think you should consider. And they're in no specific order. I mean, you can say 1, 2, or 3, or 3, 2, 1, or 2, 1, 3, or 2, 3, 1, however you want. So the first thing that I have is that you should always think with the end in mind. So what is it that you really want to create? So you got to be able to visualize it as best as you can. And I know everybody's not an artist. I'm not an artist, even though I can put stuff together. I can scribble, you know what I'm saying? But try to imagine what this animal will look like. I mean, as detailed as you can make it. Look at different examples of what the non-combination of the product would be, and then just try to really imagine with it. I use the Morph Market genetic calculator to try to figure out, all right, has this animal even been made yet? And if so, I try to get as close as I can, and that's how I do it. And just looking at a lot of pictures of snakes and different pattern morphs and things like that, that helps me to decide. But we're thinking with the end in mind. So realistically, the next thing that you should do on this same bullet is to try to figure out how long will it take you to get here. Now, that's a money thing, because if you have the funds to drop $2,000, $3,000 to $20,000 on a snake, that's great. And I'm happy for you. I just don't have it. But if you're able to, then you can reach your goals a lot faster. But if not, you might have to start off with 2 double recessives or 4 het recessives and just pair it out and just play it out. I mean, it might take you anywhere from 3 years to 10 years to reach this project's end. But if you're truly doing it for the reasons of creating a wow factor, and you can do it for a financial reason as well, I mean, why not? But for the wow factor, that's going to be the driver in my case. Then that's going to let me know exactly how long it's going to take for me to get this project off the ground. And that's getting my females up to size, getting my males up to size. Hopefully the female will go and the ultrasound will show that she's developing follicles and all this stuff. And then boom, eggs and babies, kind of like Balls to You, what Gavin's with Balls to You says. And then you have babies. Also, you need to think of how common is this project in the reptile community. And there's a lot of different breeding communities, but in the reptile community, how prevalent is this project? Now, if it's a project that's already out there and it's a lot of people are doing it, you can still do it. I would say still do it, but the wow factor won't be there as much because you can just go online and see an example of it, right? Well, but if it's not, then that might be something that you could hold off to just maybe your small circle until you get it, and then you get enough animals, and then when you display it, it'll be like a circus. Everybody will want to see it. I mean, you see it at shows like Tinley, Pomona, Daytona. You see it all the time where people bring these awesome animals that no one's ever seen before, and everybody's just like, wow, like Megaconda. That is amazing. An albino anaconda. I mean, I just never thought that there would ever be one, because that snake has been around, the anaconda. And I know it's a sidebar, but that snake's been around for so long that you would think that one would already be in the wild. But if it's produced where it's from in the wild, it's probably going to get eaten. And that's why the green anaconda has that olive color with that dark brown to black saddles. But the fact that she made 2 of them, man, that's just really ridiculous, bro. I mean, that is ridiculous. And that is a true testament of how you can actually see your dreams through. And when you get it, it's just so worth it. Now we'll look at some examples real quick. You know, I just want you guys to see what I'm talking about. And the first one I came up with, the animals are sold. I don't see any more on Morph Market, is a Desert Ghost Tri-Stripe. To me, this animal is beautiful. This one was created by Bob's Balls. I see where he sold 2 of them online. He sold them for a pretty good price. I don't know what's happening to these animals, if they're in private collection or if we'll see them again in the future. But, you know, the way things work, I think we'll see them in the future. But you can see just how amazing these animals look. And this is a double recessive. It's the Tri-Stripe and it's the Desert Ghost. So it's not something that will be very far-fetched in making, but you just don't see it as often. So this is a project that definitely has a lot of different ways to go. It's one that I would like to consider. So moving right along to the second thing. So how will you acquire your breeding stock? So this is, I think, just as important as number 1, you know, so think with the end in mind. So if you ask the question of how will you acquire your breeding stock, I think you'll be able to come up with a lot of key things. So will you import it, or will you, you know, how will you get it? Will you have to bring it in? Is it readily available? Will you have to create it? Things like that. How much will it cost? Will it be captive bred or wild caught? I mean, that's all these things come into play, because of course, if you have something that's wild caught, then you have to treat it for disease. There's a lot of things. The animal may not be in great shape. I mean, there's a lot of things, but how will you actually acquire this breeding stock to make it? And typically, from everything that I've seen and researched, you need 1.3. So you need 1 male and 3 females to really just hit a project, and that's at the smallest level. Of course, you can start 1-to-1, but if one animal doesn't go, that kind of sets you back a little bit further. So that's why I would say starting out with 1 male and 3 females, or 1.3, that would get you to your goals. So look at this next snake. It is and this is from Adam Chesla, and it's a hypo zebra, and it's a pastel hypo zebra. I have an example of a male and a female, and I mean, this is still just an extraordinary animal. I mean, I've been looking at these for a while. The price points haven't came down enough for me to actually buy the visuals. So I'm really considering, do I get hets or do I get into the project? But again, with the end in mind. So it's like, you know, you got to play this all out, and then how will I acquire it and all these other things. But it's just an amazing example of the difference and a variety of pattern morphs that are in the ball pythons. I mean, it's just really crazy, guys. I mean, if you think about it, I don't think any other species of animals on the planet has as many color variations as the ball pythons have now from captive breeding. And I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, hey, please let me know. So as we move into the third thing, the last thing, number 3 or tree, would be, once you reach your products in, how will you distribute or sell the products, or what will you do with the products? And in this case, also the byproducts, because as you try to make products, as you try to make ball pythons or whatever you're trying to make, inevitably you're going to end up with some more hits, right? That are not moving you in the direction they are, but they're not getting you those results that you want. So this is one way, if you're actually moving forward in the project, that you can actually help fund the further growth of the project. So how you sell them? I mean, so you have to go and define a niche and a demographic that you'll be selling to. What type of shows? Will you use online platforms such as Morph Market, or will you know, like I said before, the shows? And also, how will the animals be priced? I mean, are you going to price it just for collectors at the high end or the low end? Will you price it as a pet item? I mean, it's all up to you, because there's no clear and defined answer to that. Like, you can sell things for however much you want, or you don't have to sell them at all. In my case, I can be honest. If I make something that I truly, truly want, I don't know if I'll sell it. I don't know, because my whole motivation for being into breeding ball pythons is to create something unique and not to create something unique to sell it. Even though, like I said, if you get enough of the byproducts, or maybe I have enough examples of it, then I guess I would sell it. But in the beginning, I would just want to create that work of art and provide that animal with really great care for the rest of its life. So that's something that you have to think about, guys. As we look at this last example, and the last example is from Kinova, and you know, this is a Desert Ghost Hypo clown that's heteropod. So this could be a quad recessive, and I can only imagine what all you could do with that with the other incomplete dominant traits, just to blow these quad recessives out of the market. But this one is actually for sale right now. And hey guys, I mean, I just want you thinking. That's all I want people to do is think, love their reptiles, love what they're doing, and just really be imaginative and just have fun with this, you know, and just really enjoy it. But hey guys, please let me know what you think. If you like this video, please let me know by hitting that like button and subscribing. Comment, please let me know what you think, because even though I'm doing this, I'm just a reptile enthusiast. I'm nobody else. I'm a regular guy. I go to work every day, and then, you know, I have a family and everything else. So just let me know. And if nothing else, guys, like I always say, enjoy the time that you spend with your reptiles and enjoy the time that you have with your family. Thanks.
Ride or die, I keep boys by my side. CJ Ack, never gotta roll with ice.